Thank you for joining us and welcome to this edition of The Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I'm your host, Michaela Palladino. We have a packed show for you tonight with a lot of local sports action, and joining me is sports reporter Sam Oshins. Sam, how you doing tonight?
Michaela, I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be back, and as the weather warms up, so do the sports around Flagstaff. Shall we get started?
Well, let's get started with our first topic of the night, NAU Golf. Sam, who were some standout players from the Jacks this weekend?
Michaela, this was a huge weekend for NAU Golf as the Lady Jacks played their only home event all season as they competed in Sedona for the Red Rock Invitational. And for these ladies, playing on their home course seems to take their play to a whole new level. This year, however, was particularly special for the Jacks as they finished third overall. The biggest boost this team could have asked for, however, came from Sofia Anokhina, a sophomore from Russia, who won the individual title with an impressive final score of 12 under par. Anokhina not only won the individual title, but she beat her closest competition by 11 strokes. The Jacks have 2 more invitationals to fine-tune their game before the Big Sky tournament. They travel to Sacramento to play in the Sac State Invitational after spring break, and then a huge challenge at the Ping ASU Invitational.
That's right, a huge weekend for Sofia, and she also was named the Big Sky Conference Golfer of the Week for matching her career best scoring round, so congratulations to Sofia. Now moving on to our next topic. It's tournament season for basketball, and NAU men's and women's basketball are ready for the Big Sky tournament. What does the men's team need to do to make it further in the Big Sky tournament?
Honestly, the answer is very simple for the Jacks. They needed to play how they know they can. What I mean is they needed to get out of their own heads and play how they did when they upset North Dakota and Eastern Washington. The Jacks had a great game in the first round, however, as they came back to lead by a point midway through the second half after trailing by 5 points at halftime. Unfortunately, the Portland State was able to overcome and beat the Jacks 80-67. In their final game in blue and gold, Kaluna and Jordyn Martin led NAU with 18 and 16 points respectively. Martin also led the Jacks with 16 rebounds, which didn't come as a surprise since he is now the 4th highest rebounder in school history. Kaluna finished 19th in the 1,000-point club with a career total of 1,173 career points.
NAU has some big shoes to fill losing Kaluna and Jordyn Martin, but we look forward to seeing what happens next year with this team. Unfortunately, the women's team also fell short in the first round of the Big Sky tournament to Portland State 88-76. Portland State was just dominated in the paint, shooting 58.2% overall. In the last quarter, Coggins and Lucene made 2 consecutive threes to cut Portland's lead, but it was too late for the Lumberjacks. However, 3 of NAU seniors had double figures in their final game as a Lumberjack. Now let's move on to some high school baseball. Sam, who are some key players for the Coconino Panthers?
Well, there are a lot of guys to watch on this team, and one of those players is Matt Westling. The 5'10" junior tossed a complete game earlier this week that led the Panthers to a 14-2 victory over Lee Williams. Westling gave up 8 hits and struck out 5 volunteers, but the most impressive part of his stat line was the walks, 0. He didn't give up a single walk to any of the batters he faced in his 7 innings. Not allowing those extra base runners can be the difference between going the distance like Westling did on Tuesday or getting knocked out of the start in the early innings. He also got his work in from the batter's box in this one, collecting 3 hits in his 4 at-bats, and he drove in 2 runs. If Westling can be the go-to guy that the Panthers need on the mound, I like this team's chances as the season progresses.
Well, the Panthers have a tough schedule for the rest of the season, and we look forward to seeing how they do. The Panthers are in a bit of a rebuild as they have to fill a massive voids left by the departure of 8th Southpaw Avery Weems and first baseman Riley Snowpeck. I believe Jake Reed and Matt Westling can fill the void left by Weems. However, there are no clear-cut favorites to play first base. Another Panther to keep an eye on is multi-sport senior Kristen Casados. The Panthers rely on defense. Now moving to the other side of town, the Eagles baseball team is getting ready as well for the rest of their season. Sam, what do we have to look forward to this season from the Eagles?
I am beyond excited that it is finally spring and America's pastime is back. As for my predictions for Flagstaff, it boils down to whether or not the team can perform as a whole. Based off of the roster alone, Flagstaff has a clear advantage when it comes to chemistry as the majority of this Eagles team is upperclassmen. 13 of the 20 players on Flagstaff's roster are seniors and juniors. I look for Avery Wilson and Evan Wisson to lead this team. The Eagles are going to rely heavily on defense, which is where the chemistry of veteran players benefits them. Flagstaff is very strong on the defense, as seniors Brennan Brogny and Jared Wetzel, playing shortstop and catcher respectively, have been solid throughout their career as Eagles. Coach Dobosh and the Eagles are looking to rebound from a subpar season last year.
That's right, Sam. This is a very senior-heavy team, and each of them contributing to the team in different ways. Westling recorded 6 doubles last season for the Eagles. Some underclassmen to look out for are sophomore catcher Colton Bond, who will see some playing time this season.